Welcome, brothers and sisters, to another spine-tingling episode on my YouTube channel. I genuinely hope you're as excited as I am, because today we're about to embark on a mesmerizing journey into the unknown. Before we dive headfirst into the story, I want to take a moment to express my gratitude for your continued support. It's your likes, comments, and subscriptions that keep this channel thriving, allowing us to explore captivating tales like the one you're about to experience. So, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support means the world to me, and it helps us grow our tight-knit community of mystery enthusiasts. Now let's get back to the main event. Today's story promises to be a real nail-biter, filled with twists, turns, and supernatural mysteries that'll send shivers down your spine. So don't forget to hit that like button if you're ready for a heart-pounding adventure. And as always, if you find yourself captivated by the tale, don't hesitate to share it with your fellow thrill-seekers. Grab your favorite snack, settle into your comfiest chair, and let's journey into the chilling unknown together. Thank you for being here, and let's make this video an unforgettable experience. Without further delay, let's begin. It was a dark and stormy night when Emily stumbled upon the most peculiar phone she had ever seen. The wind howled through the trees and rain lashed against her as she took shelter beneath the awning of an old antique shop. The shop, hidden away in a forgotten corner of the city, seemed out of place in the modern world. Its dusty windows displayed a bizarre collection of oddities and curiosities. Emily's own phone had met an unfortunate end, dropped in a puddle during her frantic dash through the rain. She needed a replacement quickly, so she reluctantly pushed open the creaking door of the shop. The ancient bell above the entrance tinkled eerily as she stepped inside. The shop was a labyrinth of forgotten treasures. Antique dolls with cracked porcelain faces leered at her from their shelves, and faded paintings of forlorn landscapes lined the walls. Emily's eyes fell upon a dusty glass case at the back of the shop, where a single modern-looking phone lay on a velvet cushion. It was labeled iPhone 15. Emily found it odd that a shop filled with relics of the past would have a brand new... She tapped on the glass, and the shopkeeper,
a stooped and wizened old man, appeared from the shadows. "Ah, the iPhone 15, he said in a raspy voice. "A rare and special item, young lady. It's not like the others. It has a history." Emily's curiosity was piqued. She inquired about
the phone's history, and the shopkeeper began to speak in hushed tones, as if revealing a dark secret. "This phone," he said, "was the last creation of its kind, crafted by a brilliant but tormented inventor. Legend had it that he imbued it with strange and otherworldly powers before he vanished mysteriously. Some say it's cursed." Emily chuckled nervously, dismissing the old man's tale as a sales pitch. "I'll take it," she said, reaching for her wallet. The shopkeeper hesitated, his rheumy eyes locking onto hers. "Be warned, young lady. This phone is not like any other. It may change your life in ways you cannot fathom." With a dismissive smile, Emily paid for the phone and left the shop. The storm had abated and the night air was still. She felt a shiver crawl down her spine as she slipped the iPhone 15 into her pocket. Little did she know that her world was about to be plunged into a nightmare beyond her wildest imagination. As Emily walked down the deserted street, the iPhone 15 suddenly lit up with an eerie, pulsating light. Unbeknownst to her, its curse had already begun to take hold, and her life was about to descend into a terrifying and inexplicable darkness. Emily couldn't shake the unsettling feeling that had taken root in her ever since she left the antique shop with the iPhone 15. As she settled into her cozy apartment, the phone lay ominously on her kitchen table, its screen casting an eerie glow in the dimly lit room. That night, as she lay in bed trying to sleep, the phone's screen flickered to life on its own. A low, distorted voice emanated from it, sending shivers down her spine. It was as if the phone had a mind of its own. "Emily," the voice whispered, distorted and unnatural. "Emily, I need you." Panicking, Emily grabbed the phone and frantically searched for its source. There were no open apps, no incoming calls, nothing to explain the voice she had just heard. She considered throwing it away, but an inexplicable curiosity compelled her to keep it. Over the next few days, the iPhone 15 continued to behave strangely. It would vibrate at odd hours, displaying messages in a language she couldn't understand. Occasionally, eerie images would flash across the screen, images of shadowy figures and twisted faces. The calls from the unknown voice became more frequent, each time sounding more desperate. "Emily, help me," it pleaded. Unable to resist the mysterious pull of the phone, Emily decided to seek answers. She visited tech experts, but they found nothing wrong with it. She scoured the internet for information about the iPhone 15 and its inventor, but there was nothing to be found. One evening, as Emily sat in her darkened apartment, the phone rang. She hesitantly answered, and the voice on the other end became clearer, though still distorted. "Meet me at the old abandoned factory," it said, "tonight." Emily's heart raced as she contemplated the request. It was madness to follow the instructions of an unknown, possibly supernatural force. But the voice seemed to know something about the phone's curse, something that might free her from its grip. With trepidation, Emily made her way to the abandoned factory, the decrepit building looming like a specter in the moonlight. The phone's screen guided her through the labyrinthine corridors until she reached a dimly lit room at the heart of the factory. There she found an old dusty workbench cluttered with bizarre and esoteric instruments. And in the center of the room a figure stood, shrouded in darkness. The voice, now clear and human, came from the figure. "Emily, I need your help to break the curse of the iPhone 15. Only then can we both be free." Terrified but determined, Emily took her first steps into the enigmatic world of the cursed iPhone 15, where the boundary between reality and nightmare blurred beyond recognition. Emily stood frozen in the dimly lit room of the abandoned factory, staring at the figure shrouded in darkness. The voice that had haunted her from the iPhone 15 now belonged to a person, a man whose face remained hidden beneath a tattered hood. "Who are you?" Emily finally managed to stammer. The man sighed deeply, his shoulders slumping as if bearing an immense burden. "I was the inventor of the iPhone 15. My name is Professor Samuel Wren. I created it to push the boundaries of technology, but I didn't anticipate the darkness it would bring." He stepped into the dim light, revealing a face marked by weariness and regret. "The phone is cursed, Emily. It's a gateway to another realm, a realm of malevolent spirits and unrelenting darkness. I've been trapped here for years, and the curse has consumed me." Emily's heart pounded in her chest. She couldn't comprehend the gravity of the situation. "How do we break the curse?" she asked, her voice trembling. Professor Wren explained that the iPhone 15 was not just a phone, it was a portal to the spirit world. It had the power to trap souls, including his own, in a never-ending cycle of torment. The curse could only be broken by completing a ritual, one that would require Emily's help. With a heavy heart, Emily agreed to assist Professor Wren. Together, they delved into the grim history of the phone and the dark rituals that had been performed with it. They learned that the curse demanded a sacrifice of pure intent, an act of selflessness that would release the trapped souls and seal the portal forever. As the days turned into weeks, Emily and Professor Wren prepared for the ritual. They gathered the necessary materials and conducted research to ensure they followed every step correctly. Emily began to understand the true extent of the malevolent forces they were dealing with as she witnessed disturbing visions and heard unsettling whispers from the spirit world. Finally, the night of the ritual arrived. They stood in the same dimly lit room where they had first met. Emily held the iPhone 15, her hands trembling with fear and determination. Professor Wren recited ancient incantations, and together they channeled their energy into the phone, offering it as a beacon of hope to the trapped souls. As the ritual reached its climax, the room filled with an otherworldly light, and Emily felt an overwhelming surge of emotions. The spirits, once trapped, began to ascend from the phone and into the light, their tormented cries fading into the distance. With a final burst of energy, Emily and Professor Wren sealed the portal. The curse was broken. Exhausted but relieved, Emily and Professor Wren left the abandoned factory behind. The weight of the curse finally lifted. Yet they both knew that the darkness they had faced would forever haunt their memories. Little did they realize that their journey was far from over, for the malevolent forces of the spirit world would not easily forget those who had dared to challenge them. With the curse of the iPhone 15 broken and the malevolent spirits banished, Emily and Professor Wren hoped for a return to normalcy. But the shadow of their encounter with the spirit world continued to loom over their lives. Emily couldn't forget the haunting visions she had witnessed during the ritual, nor the chilling whispers that occasionally echoed in her mind. Professor Wren, freed from his torment, had nowhere to go and decided to stay close to Emily, feeling a sense of responsibility for her involvement in the curse. As days turned into weeks, strange occurrences began to plague Emily's life. Objects would move on their own, lights flickered inexplicably, and an unsettling presence seemed to linger in the corners of her apartment. Emily knew that the spirits they had freed from the iPhone 15 were not entirely gone. They had left an indelible mark on her world. One evening, Emily received a call from an unknown number. When she answered, a ghostly voice whispered, "We remember, Emily. You can't escape us." Fear gripped her heart as she realized that the spirits they had encountered were seeking vengeance. She told Professor Wren about the call, and together they decided to confront the lingering darkness once and for all. They delved into ancient texts and consulted experts in the occult, searching for a way to protect themselves and banish the vengeful spirits for good. The path was treacherous, filled with dangerous rituals and uncertain outcomes, but they had no choice.
As they conducted their research, the haunting manifestations in Emily's apartment grew more intense. It became clear that the spirits were gathering strength, their malevolence growing with each passing day. One night, as Emily and Professor Wren prepared to perform the finale ritual, the spirits launched a relentless attack. Objects flew through the air, and the room filled with a bone-chilling cold. The vengeful spirits manifested as shadowy figures, their hollow eyes fixed on Emily and Professor Wren. With unwavering determination, they began the ritual, channeling their combined energy to create a protective barrier. The room shook, and the spirits howled in fury as they struggled against the barrier's power. Emily and Professor Wren could feel the spirits' anger and desperation, but they pressed on, unwilling to let the darkness consume them. In a blinding flash of light, the vengeful spirits were banished once and for all. Emily and Professor Wren collapsed, exhausted but triumphant. The lingering darkness had been defeated, and they had finally found peace. As they caught their breath, they knew that the iPhone 15 and its curse would remain a terrifying chapter in their lives. But they also understood the importance of confronting darkness, no matter how frightening, and finding the strength within themselves to overcome it. Their journey had come to an end, and they could now move forward, forever changed by their harrowing encounter with the cursed phone and the malevolent spirits it had unleashed. With the vengeful spirits banished and the iPhone 15's curse finally broken, Emily and Professor Wren felt a sense of relief wash over them. The haunting presence that had plagued their lives was gone, and they could finally begin to rebuild their sense of normalcy. Over time, Emily and Professor Wren grew close, their shared ordeal forging a deep bond between them. They continued to study the mysteries of the supernatural, seeking answers to the questions that still lingered in the wake of their encounter with the cursed phone. As they delved deeper into their research, they uncovered the history of other cursed objects and the stories of those who had faced similar trials. It became clear that the world was filled with ancient artifacts and dark forces waiting to be awakened. With newfound knowledge and a sense of purpose, Emily and Professor Wren dedicated themselves to helping others who had fallen victim to cursed objects and malevolent spirits. They traveled the world, offering their expertise and conducting rituals to cleanse and protect those in need. But as they helped others, they couldn't help but wonder about the lingering questions from their own past. What had driven Professor Wren to create the iPhone 15 and imbue it with such dark powers?
What had caused the spirits to seek vengeance in the first place? And most importantly, could they ever truly escape the shadows of their past? One day, as Emily and Professor Wren explored an ancient temple in a remote corner of the world, they stumbled upon an ancient text that held the key to unlocking some of these mysteries. The text spoke of a secret society of scholars and mystics who had guarded the knowledge of cursed objects for centuries. It hinted at a hidden truth about the iPhone 15 and the malevolent spirits it had unleashed. Determined to uncover the truth, Emily and Professor Wren followed the clues from the ancient text, embarking on a journey that would take them deeper into the world of the supernatural than ever before. They knew that their quest for answers was fraught with danger, but they also knew that they could not rest until they had uncovered the full story of the cursed phone and the forces that had shaped their lives. As they ventured into the unknown, Emily and Professor Wren carried with them the lessons they had learned from their past experiences: the importance of courage in the face of darkness, the strength of friendship in times of adversity, and the unending pursuit of knowledge in a world filled with mysteries. And so their journey continued, with the lingering questions of their past propelling them forward into a future where the boundaries between the ordinary and the supernatural remained blurred, and where the pursuit of truth would forever be their guiding light. Welcome back, horror enthusiasts, to another bone-chilling episode on our channel. Tonight we're delving into the shadows that lurk just beyond your front door. It's time for 5 true creepy neighbor horror stories, true scary stories. We've scoured the internet to bring you real-life accounts that will make you double-check your neighbor's intentions the next time you pass by. These tales are not for the faint-hearted. They are the stuff of nightmares, proving that sometimes the most terrifying horrors are right next door. Before we dive into these unsettling stories, make sure you're subscribed to our channel and have those notification bells on. That way, you'll never miss out on a spine-tingling tale. And if you're as excited as we are about these stories, don't forget to hit that like button to show your support. Now, sit back, turn down the lights, but remember, if you ever encounter something eerie in your neighborhood, you might just have your own story to share one day. Now, let's begin with our first bone-chilling account. Story 1. The Watchful Eyes. In a quiet suburban neighborhood, Sarah moved into a charming old house. Her neighbor, Mrs. Anderson, seemed friendly enough, always peeking out her window with a smile. But Sarah couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. One night, while she was alone, she noticed Mrs. Anderson's face in her bedroom window. But when she called the police, they discovered that Mrs. Anderson had been dead for weeks. Who or what had been watching Sarah? Terrified by the revelation of Mrs. Anderson's death, Sarah decided to move out of the old house, but the feeling of being watched didn't leave her. As she settled into her new place, she heard faint whispers coming from her closet. When she opened it, she found a dusty old photograph of herself standing outside the old house. The photo was dated decades ago, long before she had moved in. The question remained: who or what had been watching her all along? Sarah couldn't escape the feeling of being watched. One evening, while she was unpacking in her new place, she received an unexpected visit from a mysterious woman. The woman revealed herself as Mrs. Anderson's granddaughter. She explained that her grandmother had a supernatural gift to protect the neighborhood from evil entities. Mrs. Anderson had passed on this gift to Sarah, which was why she had felt watched. Now, Sarah had a choice: embrace her newfound power or leave it behind. Sarah embraced her newfound power to protect the neighborhood. She continued living in her new house, knowing she could now safeguard it from evil entities. Mrs. Anderson's granddaughter, Rebecca, became her mentor, teaching her the ways of their unique gift. Together, they ensured that their neighborhood remained safe, and Sarah learned that sometimes what seems scary can become a source of strength. As Sarah and Rebecca continued to protect the neighborhood, they discovered an unsettling truth. Mrs. Anderson's power wasn't just for good, It also attracted the attention of malevolent entities. One night, a sinister force descended upon the house, shattering windows and terrifying them both. Sarah realized that her life would forever be a battle between good and evil, and the price of her gift was the constant threat of darkness lurking just beyond her watchful eyes. Story 2. The Midnight Whispers. Tom and Emma had the perfect home, except for their strange neighbor, Mr. Blackwood. Every night at midnight, they heard eerie whispers emanating from his house. One night, they couldn't resist investigating and found a hidden room filled with old diaries. As they read, they learned that Mr. Blackwood had been communicating with a malevolent entity for decades. Now, that entity sought to make them its new vessel. Tom and Emma knew they had to put an end to the malevolent entity's plan. Armed with knowledge from Mr. Blackwood's diaries, they sought help from a local paranormal expert. Together, they performed a ritual to banish the entity. As the clock struck midnight, the whispers grew louder and angrier, but the entity was eventually forced out of their world, leaving their home peaceful once more. With the entity banished, Tom and Emma thought their troubles were over, but they soon discovered that the entity had left behind a journal containing its dark secrets. They decided to destroy it to ensure no one else would be harmed. As they burned the journal, a strong wind blew, and eerie whispers filled the air one last time. Tom and Emma hoped that they had truly rid themselves of the malevolent presence. After destroying the entity's journal, Tom and Emma hoped for peace. However, strange occurrences still happened occasionally. They decided to move to a new home, leaving the malevolent entity behind. As they settled into their new place, they realized that they had learned the importance of standing together and protecting each other from the unknown. Tom and Emma believed they had escaped the malevolent entity, but it had found a new home in their old house. They received a chilling message from their new neighbor, warning them of the eerie whispers that now plagued their old home. The entity had returned, stronger than ever. Tom and Emma knew they had unwittingly passed on their nightmare to another unsuspecting family, and the haunting continued. Story 3. The Haunted Garden. The Thompsons loved their new house with a lush garden. However, they couldn't ignore their neighbors' strange warnings to stay away from the garden at night. One evening, they ventured out and found the garden inhabited by ghostly figures. The ghosts revealed they were former homeowners who had vanished mysteriously. They needed the Thompsons' help to break a sinister curse that bound their souls to the garden. The Thompsons couldn't ignore the ghosts' plea for help. They embarked on a journey to uncover the truth behind the curse. Through research, they discovered that an evil sorcerer had cursed the garden centuries ago. With the guidance of the ghosts, they performed a ritual to break the curse. The garden's dark enchantment was lifted, and the grateful spirits finally found peace. After breaking the curse, the garden flourished with life. The grateful spirits of the former homeowners whispered their thanks one final time before peacefully moving on. The Thompsons tended to the garden, knowing it was no longer haunted. They made it a beautiful place for their family to enjoy, and the neighborhood was forever changed for the better. The Thompsons' garden continued to flourish, but they never forgot the spirits they had helped. Over time, the garden became a symbol of hope and renewal in their neighborhood. The neighbors, inspired by their story, started taking better care of their own gardens, and a sense of community bloomed alongside the beautiful flowers. The Thompsons knew that sometimes facing fear could bring about positive change. Years passed and the neighborhood thrived, but a new generation moved in next door to the Thompsons. The curse had not been entirely broken, and the spirits of the garden found new victims. The garden's beauty hid its sinister secret, and the cycle of torment continued. The Thompsons' hope turned to despair as they realized that some curses could never truly be lifted. Story 4. The Babysitter's Nightmare. When Jenny agreed to babysit for the Johnsons, she didn't expect anything unusual, but as night fell, she heard strange sounds coming from the basement. Investigating, she found a hidden room with a sinister altar. On it there was a picture of the Johnsons with a note that read, "They're not what they seem." Suddenly the couple returned home, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly malevolence. As the Johnsons advanced menacingly, Jenny's instincts kicked in. She grabbed the note and the photo from the altar and recited the strange words written on it. A blinding light filled the room, banishing the evil presence from the Johnsons. They collapsed, unconscious but freed from the malevolent force's control. Jenny called the police and the Johnsons were taken into custody, no longer a threat. With the Johnsons in custody, Jenny knew she had to ensure they could never harm anyone again. She contacted a group of paranormal investigators who specialized in sealing away malevolent forces. Together, they performed a ritual to trap the evil entity in a special amulet. The Johnsons were sentenced to a psychiatric facility, and Jenny kept the amulet hidden, knowing it was her responsibility to keep the world safe from their dark influence. Jenny's life returned to taken into custody. She stayed in touch with the paranormal investigators and helped them with their work, ensuring that other malevolent entities were contained. Jenny learned that her courage had made a difference in the world, and she felt a newfound purpose in helping others stay safe from the supernatural. Jenny's involvement with the paranormal investigators led her to uncover a disturbing revelation. The malevolent entity that had possessed the Johnsons was part of a larger ancient network of dark forces. It sought revenge, and one by one the investigators who had helped Jenny met gruesome ends. The entity was relentless, and Jenny knew that her battle against the supernatural was far from over. Story 5. The Mirror Next Door. Lisa was always curious about her reclusive neighbor, Mr. Matthews, who lived in the house next door. One day she noticed a beautiful antique mirror in his window. When she gazed into it, she saw her own reflection twisting into grotesque forms, reaching out for her. Panicked, she looked away, but the mirror's sinister allure kept drawing her back. As her reflection grew more sinister, she realized it was trying to switch places with her. Lisa couldn't resist the mirror's pull, but she knew she had to break the curse. She researched ancient rituals and found a way to trap the reflection back inside the mirror. With great determination, she recited the incantation and watched as her twisted reflection struggled before being pulled into the mirror's depths. The mirror was now sealed, and Lisa was free from its sinister influence, but she knew she could never look into it again. Lisa had sealed the mirror, but she couldn't forget the horrors she had seen. She decided to donate the mirror to a museum specializing in haunted objects. It would be locked away forever, far from anyone's reach. As she walked away from the museum, she felt a sense of relief, knowing that she had prevented the mirror from causing more harm. Lisa's decision to donate the haunted mirror to a museum gave her peace of mind. She visited the museum occasionally, checking to make sure the mirror remained locked away securely. Over time, the mirror became a curiosity for museum goers, but its dark influence was contained. Lisa realized that sometimes facing your fears and making the right choice could protect others from harm. Lisa believed the haunted mirror was safely locked away, but evil always finds a way. One night, she woke up to find the mirror hanging in her bedroom. Her twisted reflection grinned at her malevolently from the glass, whispering promises of untold horrors. Lisa realized that the mirror had never truly been sealed, and it had returned to claim her soul, forever trapping her in its nightmarish world. Thank you, dear viewers, for joining us on this spine-tingling adventure through 5 true creepy neighbor horror stories, true scary stories. Your support means the world to us, and we're thrilled to have you here. We hope these tales sent shivers down your spine and kept you on the edge of your seat. Your enthusiasm for these stories keeps us inspired to bring you more chilling content in the future. Stay tuned for more hair-raising narratives, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the fright with your fellow thrill-seekers. Until next time, remember to stay safe and keep the lights on. Thank you for being a part of our spooky... Hello, how are you, brothers? Is everything okay? We met again in a new story. Before we start the video, all you have to do is hit the like button. As for new people, click subscribe to receive new updates. Now sit down, Turn off the lights, put on your headphones, relax with yourself, and then let's go. In the hushed stillness of a moonlit night, the pregnant mother's world would soon descend into darkness. Little did she know that her peaceful suburban home, a sanctuary for her growing family, would become the stage for a nightmarish battle. As she nestled her unborn child and prepared for a night's rest, an ominous presence slithered through the shadows, its sinister intentions concealed by the veil of darkness. Join us as we unravel the chilling tale of a pregnant mother's terrifying confrontation with a home invader, a malevolent force determined to shatter her world and plunge her into a nightmare like no other. Brace yourself for a journey into the heart of fear as we delve into the unsettling depths of this harrowing story, right here on our channel of chilling tales and spine-tingling horrors. It was a quiet evening in our cozy suburban home. The setting sun cast long, eerie shadows across the room, creating an atmosphere that seemed to whisper secrets in the silence. I was heavily pregnant, just weeks away from welcoming our first child into the world. My husband, Mark, was away on a business trip, leaving me alone for a few days. The ticking of the old grandfather clock in the hallway seemed to grow louder, and the creaking of the wooden floors played a haunting symphony. The house, bathed in the dim light of a fading day, felt both familiar and strange. I wandered from room to room, the baby's room especially capturing my attention. It was a sanctuary of hope, decorated with soft pastels and filled with baby clothes and toys, all lovingly chosen by Mark and me. As I settled into bed early, the unease in the air became palpable. My mind wandered, as it often does when you're expecting a new life into your home. I thought about the joy and anticipation we had shared, the future we had planned for our little one. I remembered the look on Mark's face when he felt our baby kick for the first time, a mixture of awe and joy that still filled my heart with warmth. My hands gently caressed my growing belly, feeling the life within, a connection so profound it brought both comfort and concern. The worries of a first time, would I protect our child from harm? These fears lingered, amplified by the solitude of the empty house and the ominous stillness of the night. Mark had left me with strict instructions to keep all the doors locked and call for help if anything seemed amiss. I wanted to believe his reassurances, but the sound of every creak, every rustle in the bushes outside made my heart race. I reached for my phone, clutching it like a lifeline, just in case. The soft, rhythmic sound of the wind chimes by the window offered a touch of tranquility, but it couldn't dispel the unsettling feeling in the air. The familiar and comforting sounds of the house had taken on an eerie quality. I could hear the faint hum of the refrigerator, the occasional drip of a faucet, and the wind rustling the leaves in the garden. But beneath it all was a growing sense of disquiet, as if the walls held secrets and the shadows harbored unseen eyes. As I closed my eyes, the anxiety within me grew. Little did I know that this seemingly peaceful night would soon turn into a living nightmare, one that would test the limits of a mother's love and a woman's strength. And so, in the quiet darkness of my home, I drifted into an uneasy slumber, oblivious to the horrors that awaited me in the hours to come. As I drifted off into a fitful sleep, a myriad of thoughts tumbled through my mind. The darkness outside seemed to press against the windows, and the night held its breath. Every little noise sent shivers down my spine, making my imagination run wild. I heard the faint creaking of the floorboards, the gentle tapping of a tree branch against the window, and the distant hoot of an owl. These ordinary sounds now took on sinister undertones, and my heart raced with each one. I lay there, tossing and turning, unable to escape the feeling that something was amiss. The baby's room just across the hallway felt like a distant sanctuary, and my instincts urged me to protect it. It was as if an invisible force tugged at my maternal instincts, warning me that I was not alone in the house. In the dead of night, I heard it, an unmistakable sound from downstairs. Footsteps, soft but undeniably real. My heart pounded in my chest and I held my breath, straining to listen. The footsteps grew closer, and I knew that this was not just a product of my imagination. A shiver of fear coursed through my body as I realized that there was someone in the house. I clutched the baseball bat that I had placed beside the bed when Mark left and tried to steady my breathing. The voices in my head battled with one another. Should I investigate, or should I hide and call for help as Mark had instructed? The steps grew louder, nearer, and my anxiety reached a fever pitch. I knew I couldn't simply wait in my room, paralyzed by fear. Summoning every ounce of courage, I slowly got out of bed, my heart pounding in my chest like a war drum. The wooden floor beneath my feet creaked with every step, adding to the terrifying chorus of sounds. Moving toward the doorway, I strained to hear more. My senses were heightened, and every rustle and whisper seemed to come from every corner of the house. With each passing moment, the realization that I was not alone became more profound. There was no mistaking it. My home had been invaded. As I peered down the darkened hallway, my thoughts raced. What should I do? The safety of my unborn child and myself was paramount, and I knew that confronting these intruders was risky. But I couldn't just hide and hope they'd go away. I had to protect what was most precious to me. With the baseball bat in hand, I steeled myself for what lay ahead. The chilling realization that my life had taken a terrifying turn now gripped me completely, and I knew that whatever happened next, I had to be prepared to fight for our survival. With the baseball bat clutched tightly in my trembling hands, I moved cautiously through the dimly lit hallway. Each step felt like a thunderous drumbeat in the oppressive silence of the house. The walls seemed to close in on me, and every shadow appeared to conceal a lurking danger. As I descended the creaking stairs, the feeling of dread intensified. I knew there was no turning back now. The footsteps I had heard had grown closer, and it was evident that I was not alone. The intruders were moving methodically through my home, and my maternal instincts urged me to protect our sanctuary. Reaching the bottom of the stairs, I found myself at the entrance to the living room. The darkness within was nearly absolute, and the air seemed thick with malevolence. I could hear whispers and hushed laughter, chilling me to the bone. The intruders had invaded my private space, my sanctuary, and I couldn't let them get away with it. Summoning all my courage, I entered the living room, my eyes adjusting to the dim light. There they were, two shadowy figures, their faces concealed by masks. They were ransacking my home, callously tossing aside cherished mementos and rifling through drawers. The audacity of their invasion sent a surge of anger through me. "Who are you? What do you want?" I demanded, my voice quivering but filled with resolve. The intruders froze, their eyes hidden by their masks, but I could feel their malevolent intent. They ignored my pleas, and one of them took a menacing step toward me. Fear gnawed at my insides, but I knew that I had to protect my child, even at the risk of my own life. With all the energy and determination coursing through me, I broke free from the clutches of the intruder who had lunged at me. My heart raced, and I knew that my only chance of survival was to make a run for it. Gasping for breath, I staggered to my feet and made a mad dash for the front door. Adrenaline lent me the strength to feel the life inside me urging me to keep fighting, to keep moving. Every step was a struggle, but I knew I had to protect our unborn child. The intruders, undeterred by my escape, gave chase. Their malevolent intent was clear, and the darkness seemed to swallow them whole. The eerie silence of the night was shattered by the sound of their footsteps, each step drawing them closer to me. I reached the front door, my trembling hand fumbling for the locks. The seconds stretched into an eternity as I struggled to open it. Fear gripped me, and I could hear the approaching footsteps of the intruders. The door finally swung open, and I burst out into the darkness, the cold night air biting at my skin. The chase was far from over. I could hear the intruders giving chase, their malicious intent clear. My heart raced as I ran through the darkness, my heavy belly weighing down, my breath coming in gasps. Every step was assault, but I couldn't stop and catch me. The neighborhood, once so familiar and safe, now seemed like an alien landscape. I reached the next pound with all the strength left. Tears streamed down my face as I prayed for someone to answer, for help to arrive in time. Thankful neighbors opened their door, their faces filled with concern and shock at the sight of me, breathless and terrified. They called the police, and together we watched as the intruders, still shrouded in darkness, retreated into the night, vanishing like ghosts. Arrived, an investigation ensued, but the intruders were never caught. I moved away soon after, determined to create a safer environment for my growing family. of that horrifying night would stay with me forever. Constant reminder of the lengths a mother will go to protect her child. As a chilling reminder of the home security and personal safety, it's a time I can use to shape my life, the way I view the world. Thank you for joining on this journey through my chill. And remember, in the face of danger, the human spirit can be an unbreakable force. This night, my fight against the home invasion is a story I've never shared before. It was a terrifying experience that left a permanent mark on my soul. I hope that by sharing it with you today, I can raise awareness about the importance of home security and personal safety. Thank you for joining me on this journey through my chilling encounter. And remember, in the face of danger, the human spirit can be a breakable force. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more stories like this, and stay safe out there, my friends. Welcome to my collection of true stories that will send shivers down your spine. Prepare for an exciting journey through supernatural worlds where courage battles darkness and the human spirit conquers. If you're a fan of chills and thrills, you're in for a treat. But wait, there's more. We've added interesting twists to these tales to keep you on the edge of your seat. So grab your favorite blanket, dim the lights, and prepare to be immersed in a world of spooky legends, ghostly encounters, and sinister secrets. We hope you enjoy these tales of the supernatural and the unexplainable. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with our latest stories. And if you find yourself haunted by these tales, give us a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support keeps the scary stories coming, and you may never look at the dark the same way again. Story 1. The Haunting at Blackwood Manor. In the heart of a dense, foreboding forest stood Blackwood Manor, a decaying mansion with a sinister history. Locals whispered about a malevolent presence lurking within its shadowy halls. Brave souls who dared to enter never returned. One moonless night, Sarah, a fearless paranormal investigator, arrived at Blackwood Manor with her team. As they explored the creaking, cobweb-covered rooms, they felt a bone-chilling coldness that seemed to seep into their very souls. Unearthly whispers filled the air, growing louder and more sinister with every step they took. In the heart of the mansion, they discovered an old, ornate mirror. Its reflective surface seemed to beckon them closer. As they peered into it, their faces contorted into grotesque, nightmarish visages. One by one, they were pulled into the mirror's depths, trapped in a never-ending nightmare within its cursed glass. Inside the cursed mirror, Sarah and her team struggled to escape the nightmarish realm. They wandered through a never-ending maze of twisted corridors and encountered horrifying apparitions from their pasts. Each step they took led them deeper into madness. As the days turned into an endless night, they realized the mirror was a portal to their darkest fears. Sarah desperately searched for a way out, but the malevolent presence of the mansion was determined to keep them trapped forever. They had to confront their deepest fears to break free from the mirror's clutches and return to the real world. Sarah and her team, trapped in the cursed mirror, faced their deepest fears and the malevolent presence of the mansion. Each ghostly encounter and twisted corridor pushed them to the brink of despair. But Sarah refused to give in. In their darkest moment, they discovered a shard of the mirror that held the mansion's evil power. Sarah shattered it, unleashing a blinding burst of light. They found themselves back in the real world, free from the mirror's grasp. The curse was broken, but they knew they had to ensure no one else would fall victim to Blackwood Manor's horrors. After escaping the cursed mirror, Sarah and her team knew they had to put an end to Blackwood Manor's reign of terror. They gathered evidence of the malevolent presence and shared their harrowing experience with the world. Local authorities, initially skeptical, launched an investigation. As they combed through the eerie mansion, they uncovered a hidden room filled with dark artifacts and cursed relics. With the evidence in hand, they demolished Blackwood Manor, ensuring that its evil could no longer harm anyone. Sarah and her team found closure, knowing they had saved others from the horrors they endured. They continued their work as paranormal investigators, using their experience to help those plagued by supernatural forces. After the demolition of Blackwood Manor, the town began to heal. The malevolent presence that had plagued the mansion was finally vanquished. Sarah and her team, now renowned paranormal investigators, continued to help others facing supernatural threats. The town erected a memorial in honor of those who had fallen victim to the mansion's curse. It served as a reminder of the importance of heeding warnings about places with dark histories. Over time, the forest surrounding the former Blackwood Manor blossomed with new life, symbolizing the town's resilience and the triumph of light over darkness. The legend of Blackwood Manor faded into history, and the town found peace once more. Story 2. The Midnight Express. In a remote, desolate town, an old steam locomotive known as the Midnight Express made its way through the area every night at the stroke of midnight. Its mournful whistle echoed through the empty streets, and those who heard it knew to stay far away. One foggy night, a young couple, Mia and Jack, found themselves stranded near the tracks after their car broke down. As the clock neared midnight, they heard the distant whistle of the Midnight Express. Panic set in as they tried to push their car off the tracks, but it was too late. The train's blinding headlights bore down on them. Just as they closed their eyes, expecting the impact, they found themselves on board the train, surrounded by eerie, translucent passengers. The train hurtled through a ghostly landscape, passing through stations long forgotten. They soon realized they were trapped on the Midnight Express, a doomed journey with no end in sight. Mia and Jack, trapped on the Midnight Express, were surrounded by ghostly passengers who shared their stories. The train made strange stops at spectral stations where lost souls awaited their fate. Mia and Jack realized they were part of a cycle, reliving the train journey of doomed passengers from the past. Haunted by the train's relentless journey, they searched for a way to break the curse. They discovered an old journal belonging to a previous passenger, revealing a hidden truth about the train's origin. To escape, they had to uncover the Midnight Express's dark secret and confront the vengeful spirit that bound them to its eternal voyage. Mia and Jack, determined to break the curse of the Midnight Express, delved deeper into the train's secrets. The journal they found revealed the tragic tale of the train's creator, who had made a deal with a malevolent force. To confront the vengeful spirit that bound them, Mia and Jack needed to find the train's source of power. They discovered an ancient amulet hidden in the locomotive's engine. With the amulet in hand, they confronted the spirit, breaking the curse and freeing themselves from the eternal cycle. Mia and Jack, freed from the curse of the Midnight Express, shared their story with the world. They uncovered the journal of the train's creator and revealed the train's malevolent origins to the public. With the truth exposed, the town rallied to prevent further tragedies. They turned the once dreaded Midnight Express into a memorial, reminding everyone of the importance of avoiding deals with malevolent forces. Mia and Jack, their bond strengthened by their ordeal, became advocates for the truth and cautionary tales. They ensured that the tale of the Midnight Express served as a warning to those tempted by dark bargains. The town embraced the transformed Midnight Express as a symbol of redemption and caution. Visitors from far and wide came to see the memorial, and the story of Mia and Jack's escape served as a chilling reminder of the perils of making deals with malevolent forces. Mia and Jack married, their love stronger than ever. They dedicated their lives to advocating for safe choices and warning others against seeking supernatural thrills. Their story became a beacon of hope and a lesson in the power of love to overcome darkness. The Midnight Express, once a harbinger of doom, stood as a testament to the town's resilience and the importance of making choices that lead to a brighter future. Story 3. The Dollmaker's Curse. In a quiet town, children were warned never to enter the old, decrepit doll shop that belonged to the reclusive dollmaker. His dolls were lifelike, but carried an eerie aura that sent shivers down the spines of those who gazed upon them. One curious child, Emily, couldn't resist the allure of the shop and sneaked inside. She discovered a peculiar doll with porcelain skin and obsidian eyes. Mesmerized, she took it home. That night, the doll whispered secrets in the darkness, secrets that should have never been known. As days turned into weeks, Emily's appearance began to change, mirroring the doll's features. Her parents grew terrified as Emily's personality shifted, becoming cold and malicious. Desperate to break the curse, they returned to the doll shop, only to find the doll maker's final creation, a doll with Emily's face, as Emily sought answers from the doll maker's abandoned shop. They found a hidden room filled with diaries and notes detailing the doll maker's obsession with creating living dolls. Desperate to save their daughter, they learned that the curse could only be broken by returning the doll to its rightful place within the shop. Emily's parents embarked on a perilous journey, racing against time to break the curse and save their daughter's soul from being forever entwined with the malevolent doll. Emily's parents, armed with knowledge from the doll maker's diaries, embarked on a dangerous journey to save their daughter. They returned the cursed doll to the hidden room within the shop, following the doll maker's instructions. As the doll was placed in its rightful spot, a surge of dark energy filled the room. Emily's parents faced a final test, confronting the malevolent spirit that had plagued their family for generations. With love and determination, they banished the spirit and broke the curse, restoring Emma to her true self. With the curse broke, Emily restored to her true self. Her parents vowed to protect their family doll legacy. They tracked down the cursed dolls and artifacts, sealing them away in a secure vault, ensuring they could harm no one else. Emily, though scarred by her ordeal, found solace in her family's love. She pursued her passion for art, using her creativity to heal and bring beauty into the world. The doll maker's sinister legacy was put to rest, and the town was finally free from his curse. The doll shop, once a place of dread, was transformed into a sanctuary for healing and creativity, a symbol of resilience in the face of darkness. The town was finally free from the doll maker's curse, and the community came together to support Emily and her family. Emily's art flourished, and she used her talent to create beautiful dolls that brought happiness to others. The seal vaulted the cursed dolls served as a reminder of the family's sacrifice and the town's determination to protect its residents. The doll shop, now a place of creativity and positivity, thrived as a hub for artists and dreamers. The legacy of the doll maker was rewritten, with the town focusing on the resilience and unity that had allowed them to overcome the darkest of curses. Story 4. The Forest of Whispers. Deep within an ancient forest, a secluded village thrived, untouched by the outside world. The villagers lived in fear of the whispering trees said to be inhabited by malevolent spirits. These spirits whispered secrets and prophecies to anyone who dared to listen, driving them to madness. One evening, a group of curious teenagers ventured into the forest, determined to hear the whispers for themselves. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the trees began to murmur, their voices growing louder and more unsettling. The teenagers strained to listen, their minds slowly unraveling. The teenagers who ventured into the Whispering Trees forest faced the consequences of their curiosity. Their minds, tormented by the ominous whispers, became entangled in a web of madness. The villagers, hearing their cries, knew they needed to act. The village elders, who had guarded the secrets of the forest for generations, devised a risky plan to save the teenagers. Armed with ancient rituals and protective charms, they ventured into the haunted forest to confront the malevolent spirits within the Whispering Trees. To succeed, they needed to silence the whispers and release the trapped souls, offering a glimmer of hope for those lost to madness. The village elders ventured into the haunted forest, armed with ancient rituals and charms. They faced the malevolent spirits within the Whispering Trees, determined to save the tormented teenagers and silence the ominous whispers. Through a powerful ceremony, they managed to free the trapped souls and calm the forest's restless spirits. The haunted forest returned to a state of peace, and the teenagers, though scarred by their ordeal, were released from the grip of madness. The village would forever guard the secrets of the Whispering Trees to prevent such a tragedy from happening again. The village, having successfully tamed the Whispering Trees and freed the tormented teenagers, implemented protective measures to prevent further tragedies. They marked the boundaries of the haunted forest, ensuring no one wander too close. The village elders shared their ancient knowledge with the community, teaching them how to maintain the peace within the forest. The village and the forest coexisted in harmony, and the ominous whispers faded to a distant memory. With the village's newfound understanding of the Whispering Trees, they coexisted in harmony. The forest regained its natural beauty, and the village prospered as the protective stewards of this mystical place. The villagers continued to pass down the knowledge of the forest's secrets, ensuring that future generations would know how to respect and protect the whispering trees. The haunted whispers were silenced, replaced by the gentle rustling of leaves in the wind. The village and the forest lived in harmony, a testament to the power of knowledge, respect, and the strength of a united community. 5. The Abandoned Carnival. A dilapidated carnival sat at the edge of town, its once vibrant attractions now decayed and overgrown. Legend had it the carnival's former owner, enigmatic Madame Zafira, had made a pact with a sinister entity for fame and fortune. One moonless night, a group of thrill-seekers decided to explore the abandoned carnival, armed flashlights and bravado. As they ventured deeper into the darkness, they encountered grotesque, animated carnival attractions, clowns that seemed colorful, and rides that moved on the heart of the carnival. They found a dusty tent, adorned with eerie symbols. Inside, a spectral figure, Madame Zafira, beckoned them to play a deadly game of chance. With each roll of the dice, the fate grew more perilous, and they realized they were trapped in a nightmarish carnival, destined to become part of a sinister spectacle for all eternity. Trapped in the nightmarish carnival, the thrill-seekers faced Madame Zafira's game of chance. With every roll of the dice, the stakes grew higher, and they realized the carnival was a cursed realm by their fears. To escape, they needed to outwit Madame Zafira and her sinister entity. They discovered a hidden talisman that held the key to breaking the carnival's curse. With courage and cunning, they challenged Madame Zafira, risking all to reclaim their freedom and put an end to the malevolent carnival's reign of terror once and for all. With the hidden talisman in their possession, the thrill-seekers challenged Madame Zafira. They risked everything in a high-stakes game, pitting their wits against her cunning. In a climactic showdown, they outsmarted Madame Zafira and her sinister entity. Using the talisman's power, they shattered the carnival's curse, freeing themselves trapped souls with the cursed carnival into the night, leaving only an empty field where it once stood. The thrill-seekers knew they had broken the cycle of terror, ensuring the carnival's malevolent reign was no more. With the cursed carnival banished, the eerie field where it once stood became a symbol of rebirth and hope. The thrill-seekers, forever changed by their ordeal, turned the field into park, a place of laughter and joy. They shared their story, warning others of the dangers of seeking thrills at the expense of their soul. The tale of cursed carnival became a cautionary legend, passed down through generations. The thrill-seekers, now bonded by their shared experience, remained friends for life, committed to cherishing the precious moments of happiness they had fought so hard to attain. The park, built on the site of the carnival, became a beloved gathering place for families, a stark contrast to the terror that once dwelt there. The thrill-seekers remained close friends, cherishing the moments of happiness they had fought so hard to find. Their cautionary tale continued to be shared, reminding others that the pursuit of thrill should never come at the expense. The cursed carnival became a distant memory, a story told to keep others safe. The thrill-seekers, once bound by fear, now bound by friendship and the knowledge that had triumphed darkness. The park served as a testament to the bravery and the partnership to overcome the darkest of nightmares. And that's a wrap on our 5 scary true pizza delivery horror stories. We've enjoyed these tingling, real encounter. Let all have a newfound respect for our pizza deliverers. If you've had a blast uncovering these eerie tales, don't forget to subscribe and hit notification. You have a bone-chilling story. Your heart keeps the scares coming. If the story left you with goosebumps or craving more content, please show your appreciation by giving a thumbs up and sharing all the comments below. We love hearing from our community of thrill seekers. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll take you on another unforgettable journey into the world of the unknown. Until then, keep the lights on, and remember, real life can be scarier than fiction. I see you in the next video. Welcome, brave souls, to a journey into the dark corner of the night. Tonight we have a spine treat for you. 5 terrifying true nighttime horror stories that shivers that's dark and calm. Away from distractions of the world, dim the lights, settle into your favorite chair, and prepare to immerse in a world where you know the supernatural. And here's a friendly reminder. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our bone-chilling stories. Now, light may begin. Story: The Haunted Man. Tonight, Mike's driving a desolate road as Dan's curve. The winding path in for twists and turns is also for some farmers a ghostly hitchhike. As he approached the curve, I saw a figure in his rearview mirror, a woman in a tattered white dress, her face obscured by long jet black hair. Panic surged through him as he realized she was hitchhiking. He had heard the legends, but he couldn't leave her stranded on this dangerous road. With hands, he pulled her and relucted her in. She climbed into the back seat, her presence casting a chill over the car. Her voice bored as she read it into an old, decrepit man at the end of the road. As they reached the man, Michael's heart, the face exuded an otherworldly balance, and he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. Muslim turned to him, her eyes hollow and soulless, and whispered, "This is where I died." Before Michael could react, a bone-chilling wail filled up, and a woman's face contorted into a grotesque mass of horror. Desperate to escape, he stood on the gas pedal and sped away from the mansion. As he glanced in the rearview mirror, vanished, but the horror was far from over. At Red Man's the car's engine sputtered and died. In the darkness, saw the woman stand on it, her hair writhing like serpents. With a fine, desperate scream, he locked the car. Michael awoke in his car, dripping sweat, parked safely on the side of the road. It had been a nightmare, though he and rode away from the curve. He couldn't shake the ghostly hitchhiker's curse had followed him, leaving him haunted by those at night. Stood the Whispering Pines, a night dive. In the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, there is a winding road known as Pine Hollow, by towering pine trees that seem to whisper secrets in the wind. It was a road rarely travelled after dark, for it was said to be cursed. One fateful adventurous soul dismissed the legends. She set out on a journey down Pine Hollow, the moon casting an glow through a thick canopy of trees. As she drew into the forest, an unnatural silence had broken by the unsettling whispering of pines. The car's headlight illuminated a shadowy figure standing in the middle of the road, a spectral man in tattered clothing, his face obscured by darkness. Emily read, but she stopped. As she passed the figure, she heard a voice, soft and malevolent, and you know. Ignoring the warning, it pressed on, turned to reach the edge pile. The forest seemed to end endlessly, trees closing around her, growing louder and more. Panicked in as she realized she was trapped in a nightmarish maze. Hours turned to days, and Emily began to unravel. The pines contained secrets of unspeakable horrors, and their voices echoed in her ears. She couldn't escape the script, and she couldn't silence the maddening whispers that filled every thought. In a final desperate act, Emily abandoned the car, fled, driven to madness by the relentless whispers of the pine. Amazingly, for those who ventured into Pine Hollow after dark and returned. Story: The Bridge to Nowhere. In the remote backcountry of West Virginia, there was a bridge known as the Bridge to Nowhere. Its span chasm so the bottom was lost into darkness, and it was said to be unspeakable. One summer, a group of friends decided to test the legend. They piled the car, set out for the Bridge to Nowhere. They were masking their unease. As they approached the bridge, the air grew heavy and an unnatural fog rolled in. The car's headlights revealed the looming silhouette of the bridge, its rugged metal structure seemingly defying the laws of physics. As they crossed the bridge, an eerie sensation washed over them, as if they were crossing into another world. Suddenly, the car's engine stalled and the headlights flickered and died. Panic set as friends realized they were stranded on the Bridge to Nowhere, surrounded by impenetrable darkness. Their flashlights revealed nothing but below. They huddled in the car. The bridge seemed alive, metal and groanings. Unearthly whispers of the air, voices of the dead echoing the depths below. The friends knew they were not alone on the bridge. The pitch darkness, they foretold, clammy hands reaching out from the void, grabbing at them with malevolent force. Desperate to escape, they abandoned the car and lined into the forest. Their screams drowned out haunting whispers of the Bridge to Nowhere. Only one of them made it alive. Store: The Curse of the Abandoned Asylum. In a forgotten corner of upstate New York, there stood an abandoned asylum shrouded in a thick blanket of mist. Its decaying walls broken dust told tales of a dark and tragic past, and the locals knew better than to approach it after sunset. But curiosity the best of Jenna, a fearless seer. One moonless night, Jenna decided to explore the asylum grounds. She took by the roadside and cautiously made her way to the door. At approachance, a bunch of wind seemed to open the build elf, pulling her to back. Ignoring the signs, Jenna sometimes crossed a flappy darkness. The air was heavy with the weight of forgotten memories, and the walls seemed to pulse with violent energy. As she got into the oak, Jenna began to hear faint whispers, body voices echoing empty halls. Shadows danced the air of her vision, and the temperature plummeted, the breath visible in the air. In a fog group, Jenna found a dusty stack of patient records. The stories of despair and torment within those pages sent shivers down her spine. But it was when she stumbled upon a faded photograph of a nurse from decades past that her world unraveled. The ghostly figure of the nurse materialized before her, her eyes filled with sorrow and rage. She pointed an accusing finger at Jenna, her voice a chilling wail as she said, "You should never have come here." Jenna fled from the asylum, her heart pounding, but the nurse's vengeful spirit pursued her. Night since Jenna raved with shouts, the relentless whispers of the tormented souls echoing in her ears. The nurse of the abandoned asylum had claimed another victim. Stefan, a phantom Route 66. Route 66, the iconic American highway, known for its long empty stretches, young legends, onward out, phantom truck. It sent a big rig that rode the highway, its stripes seeking vengeance on those who dared its path. David, the trucker himself, had heard the dismissed as tall tales until a fateful night when he found himself heavy along 6 miles from his town. The only sound was his engine. David saw the distance of an approaching truck as it reminded man. Panicked as he realized the head straight for him. He saw the voice, his heart pounding, but the truck did not move. As the truck slid side by side, David caught glimpse of the driver, spectral figure with hollow eyes and a twisted grin. The air grew frigid. David's radio crackled with eerie laughter. He knew he was in the grip of a phantom truck. No escape. The trucker ran David's rig, sending it cleaning off the road. David whirled spun in chaos. His truck turned, and he was left hanging upside down, trapped in the wreckage. He could hear the fat truck circling back, its headlights closing in. In desperate bid of survival, David crawled out of his mangled truck and fled into the darkness. Body battered and bruised, he ran for miles, haunted by the malevolent laughter that echoed with him. The phantom truck of Route 66 had spared his life, but the encounter left him forever scarred, a testament to the horrors that lurked on the open road. Well, dear others, which need haunt your dreams and set chill on your spine, prepare yourself for a descent into the darkest depth. I'm thrilled to have you join me tonight, plunge into the eerie and nightmarish world of abandoned places. In this video, we'll unearth true scary stories, tales born from escapades, exploring these forsaken and cursed locations. These are not ordinary tales. They are 3 disturbing horror stories that may well keep you awake, trembling in fear long after the video ends. Each story will venture further bit, where malicious whispers and echoes of past your press. And the horrors that are within all too real. And remember, if you find solace and thrill in the do subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. Support fuels our quest for the mysteries in the shadows, and it helps us bring you more tingling content. Don't miss out on the nightmares that lie ahead. Door 1. The whispers in the deep in the heart of an abandoned asylum. A group of explorers discover underground as they delve deeper into the neighbors seem from no whispers relax and realize each member begins to hear the details about them and one. The group struggles to maintain their sanity and whispers roll over. They differ into the sometimes. Top the asylum's selected mystics and patients there to haunt the place. The group must find a way to appease the spirits and escape before they become victims of asylum history. The group ravels the asylum's darkness and realizes the only way to escape is to confront this. They gather objects from the asylum part, including the patient's locket. With these items, they perform cleansing that appeases a torment. The sun, the group makes a harrowing, leaving the asylum, but forever haunted by what they missed. Story 2: The haunting at the abandoned school. The group enters an abandoned school building to investigate the rumors of paranormal activity. As they explore the decaying classrooms, suddenly find them lost. The chalkboard writes cryptic messages, and ghostly apparition children begin to appear. Children's voices echo through the halls, plead for help. But the ordinary soon is an ending nightmare. Haunted school. The friends attempt to unite spirits. They devour chunks zapped by a malevolence that feeds on fear. They must confront their own fears, find a way to free the battles. The school's dark secret is unveiled, and they must use this knowledge to bring the entity's power. The trapped spirits find peace, and the friends find an exit. Leave the haunted school forever by their encounter with the supernatural. 3. The Forest of Forgotten Statues. In the depths of a remote forest, explorers stumble upon an abandoned village filled with eerie statues. The statues appear to be frozen in expressions of terror. As night falls, the statues come to life, and the explorers must navigate the forest while being pursued by these cursed stone creatures. With every turn, more statues awaken. The explorers must unravel the dark secret of the village to escape their life. As more statues come to life, the explorers realize that the curse is tied to an ancient ritual. To break it, they must journey deeper into the forest and find where the ritual was formed. With the statues closing, they must decipher the ritual's meaning and force the ritual to cut once for all. The explorers locate and decipher the counter-ritual to break the curse. As they perform the ritual, the statues crumble to dust and the sights rest. The group emerges from this, bearing the weight of the experience but with a sense of closure, knowing they've put an end to the. We emerge from the murky depths of these abandoned places. We are reminded that the line between reality and the supernatural is often thinner than we dare imagine. These true-to-life scary stories serve as a reminder that the darkness that dwells in the forgotten corners of our world is very real. If you enjoyed the terrifying journey into the heart of fear, please video and subscribe to my channel for more terrifying tales from the unknown. You also fuel quest and other mysteries hidden in the shows. Have you encountered the paranormal or explored abandoned places yourself? Share your own experiences, spine tingling in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation alive. and knows your story to be our next terrifying adventure. Now, as you prepare to close your eyes for the night, remember that the world is a much scarier place than we comprehend. So, dear viewers, and prepare yourself for the nightmare that may come. Until next time, never forget that there is always you. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to a spine-tingling episode of YouTube channel. We're about to embark on a mesmerizing journey into London. Before we dive first into this, I want to take a moment to express my gratitude for your support. It's your likes, comments, and subscription keep this channel and let's explore captivating tale like the one we're doing. So, if you haven't, make you hit that button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a day. We're supporting the world and help us grow our tight-knit community, mystery and theatres. Now let's get back to today's story. Promises a reader filled with twists and supernatural that'll send shiver down your spine. But hit that like button. If you're demanding and feel yourself captivated by the tale, don't hesitate, fellow thrill seekers. Now that we've got the formalities out of the way, if it's a settle comfiest chair, chilling unnerving. Thank you for being here and make video for the series. Without further ado, let's begin. It was a dark morning when Emma stumbled upon the most peculiar thing she had seen. The window and rapped against a shelter beneath the awning antique. The shop, hidden away on the corner of the city, out of world. Dusty windows, displayed a visa collection of teas and curious Samson had met and fought and dropped in a bird frantic back through the room. She needed a replacement quickly, so she reluctantly pushed open the shop. Above the entrance tingled eerily as she did. Up was a labyrinth of compassion. Until cracked porcelain ladder from their shelves and panes of full landscapes lungs. Emily found a dusty case at the back of the shop.
Looking away on a velvet, it's labelled phone 15. Emily found it odd to show with relic of the past. A brand new chapter glass and a paper.
A stupid old man appeared in the shadows. Our phone 15 is rare and special. It's not the others. It has to be. She quite a
Phone secretly and began to speak shut a few secret. This was the last station of a brilliant but pointed event. The thing explained over hours before Vanessly says cursed. The chuckle nerdy. This man's tale. I'll take it, said Jingle. He hesitated. His rooming on us. Young lady. It's only like it made you and you cannot fathom. In whisper, a little phone at the shop. The storm had a still. Shiver crawled down his eyes. The phone 15 cock. Little did her world about to plunge like that in past imagination. As Emily walked deserted, the eye filled up with an eerie delight. Announced to her, it had already take hold. Life was uttered into a fine, illiberal dark. Looking shaky and in her scanty with the iPhone 15. As she settled into her apartment, the phone lit on her chin. Screen sting eerie glow with a deliberate. That night she left it. The screen flickered light on. Low distorted voice. Emily foot. Send down. It was as if phone had my own. Emily, what is it now? Emily grabbed the frankly searched for source. There were no open apps, no income balls. Things saying that she was throwing a little curiosity, compelled to keep it. For the next few days, the F-15 continued to behave strangely. In 8 hours, spring messages and I which couldn't understand. Agent flashed across the screen. Here's a showy figures and twisted faces. All the unknown voice became frequently each time, sounding more desperate. Emily, idiot. Unable to resist the serious pull of the phone, emphasized the answers. She did a text, but they found nothing wrong with it. She scoured the internet for information about iPhone 15, and there were nothing to be found. One evening, as Emily sat in a dark apartment, the phone rang. She hesitated and answered, and the voice in the other air became clearer, but still distorted. Meeting at the factory, turned. Emily's heart raced as she contemplated the rigs. Madness followed the instruction of unknown distraught. Voicing something about the phone's curse that might free her from its weapon. Emily made her way to the factory, liquid looming moonlight, alone in the corals, and she reached a lit room at the heart of the factory. Then found the dusty work, clad bizarre establishments. In the room, a figure, shroud darkness. The voice, now clear, came from the figure. Emily, I need you to break the curse of the iPhone 15. We then can be verified but deterred. Emily took a sticky world of the curve when the region beyond recognition. Emily thrown the dim room and factory, terrified in darkness. Haunted from the iPhone 15, or belonged to a man who's beneath a tattered hood. You, if you stammer, man suddenly, his shoulders slumping like very amendment. I the of the iPhone 15. In his personal red, I rated it push bounce detect not, but I didn't anticipate the promising ring. He said to the memory, being affected by weariness and regret. The phone is but Emily. It's ate to a realm of lent spirit and lent in darkness. Up in happy years, and it was consumed me. Emma pondered it. She could comprehend the breathing. How brick her void. Professor explained that iPhone 15 wasn't just a portal to the spirit world. It had power to trap souls and clean his own in an ending cycle of The curse could be broken by completing a ritual that would require Emily's help. Heavy heart, Emily agreed to assist Professor Rep. Together, they delved into the grim history of the phone and dark rituals that had been formed with it. They learned that the curse demanded a pure intent, an act of selflessness that would release trapped souls into war forever. The day turned into weeks. Emily had prepared for the ritual, began some materials, and did to ensure that reckoning. Emily began to understand the extent of the they were dealing with vision, heard unsettledness for the world. Finally, the night of the room arrived. They stood in the same dimly lit room they first had. They held by 15, assembling the fear and detonation. As Ren recited Ignatius, and together they channeled their air phone for its beacon hope, the trapped soul. As the ritual reached its climax, room another night, and they felt it was over. The spirits, once trapped, began to send from the fire, and like eyes faded to distance, with a final burst. Emily Professor Resolve shut the iPhone 9, the curse was sorted. Emily and Professor Ren left the factory behind, the blatantly lid, yet with the body her feet, forever hot memories. Little real their doom was over. For the malevolent forces of the world, would easily forget those who dare channel. The curve of the iPhone 15, the most spirit, Professor Ren, but into nonsense, but the shadow of her spirit world continued to loom over them. Who couldn't forget the ancient witness during the ritual, nor the diligence that originally echoed her mind. Professor Reed from no society cluttered Emily, in the response of Derry Vulcanus, as his weeks, stood courage Emily's life, its secret in her, and an uncertain presence seemed in the corners of her apart. Knew that the feet from the iPhone 15 were entire on. It left Emma wild. Emily received a call from Nunma. It's a good voice. We remember Emily. You can't escape us. Be gripped heart. Realized the spirit in seekings. Just so up the together to find the button for all. They delved etchings and consulted expert in the occult. Sing for them. Banish the spirits for path was trust her filled with inches walls and uncertain promise. The host has cut their halting mass stations in Empire grew more intense. It became the spirit strength, level strong which today one Emily was able on the field to lodge the leadless attack. Objects flew through air and the room filled with bungling gold. And evil spirits the eyes fixed on Emily and Professor Wynne. With unreversion, they gathered to and the combined energy, the room shook. Spirits howled fury, they stopped their power, and if went spirits in desperation, they pressed on, unwilling to consume, when they light, vengeful spirits were handsome for all. The end elapsed, stood but triumphant, Nervous had fit, and they fully found as it death. They knew that the female curse would remain terrifying during this. They wanted to be able to hunting dust, no matter how frightened, and finding the strength to overcome. The journey had come to an end, and unfolded, forever changed by their heritage, the phone, and the malevolent spirits had unlearned this. The vengeful Spanish, the iPhone features and Emily and Professor Reef will show them. Once they placed their lives gone, and they finally begin to read their source. Over time, Emily and shared a deep bond between them, continued to see supernatural, seeking ask questions and linger encounter with the Christopher. As they delved deep into their research, they uncovered the object, and those who had faced the trials. It appeared that the world was filled with artifacts and powerful spirits, and found not in assessing and Professor Ren aided in helping others who had fallen to objects and spirits. They traveled the world, offering their expertise, conducting ritual, cleanse and protect the need, but they helped others, could wonder about living questions from their own past. One must recreate the iPhone 15 and its arc has conspiracy vengeance of us. Presumably, could they actually escape the shadows of their day? Stanley and Professor Wren explored ancient temple remote control. They found on 8 test. He won lookings of these risks, so secret society scholars and mystics who had knowledge of curses for centuries. It did at a youth of the iPhone 15 and 11 split unleashed. Determined to cover the truth, Em and Professor Wren followed the clue on the ancient text, but on a journey that went deeper into the smack never. It grasses for later, but also knew that they could not rest until they saw the stone and the forces that shaped their lives. Jedi and presented with the lessons they earned from their heart spirits, the immortal courage in the faithfulness, the strength of friendship in times of adversity, and the endless knowledge of this so journey, with living legends of their past, propelled into a future that is between the simple and the pursuit of truth ever be their guide. Welcome back, theses, to Code on Attack. Tonight we're telling the shows that look us in the door, some funny creepy horror stories, true scare stories, scout real life accounts that make up your names into the last night. Built for the faint-hearted, but still manners, prove that sometimes terrifying was right for these unseen. Sure, subscribe and have the switch bells on. Them out on a spinal tail. And since we are about yours, don't click sport, sit back, turn down the lights, care for night true horror. Remember, if you have something eerie in your neighborhood, you might just have your own story to share one day. Now, let's begin with our first bone-chilling app. Story 1. The Full Eye. In a ferry rode into a charnhouse, her seven seemed clear, always peeking out her wind smile. Secretary glitched. One night she was lonely note in Sanders in her bedroom, but they discovered dead for weeks. Who, or might, tearing revelation of citizen's death, but to the us, only being watched, didn't her, as she turned it, the fake whispers coming out of the closet, when unshot dusty old photographs of stand inside the old house that was dated a decade ago. Long she had moved in. The question remained, who or had been all alone? Sarah couldn't escape the being watched. Meanwhile, she was packing her. She was even a visit for serial woman with citizen's granddaughter. She explained her mother had a sort of 10 neighborhood for little entities. Innocent on Sarah, which is why she felt watched. Now Sarah had a choice: embrace her newfound power or live out. Sarah ran newfound neighborhood. Continued living in her house, knowing she must safeguard for little entities. Sarah's brother Rubka became home, teaching her the ways of their neat. Sarah ensured the neighborhood remained safe, and Sarah learned that sometimes what seems scary can sort of strength. Rebecca continued pregnant. They discovered an unsettling truth. Citizen's power was just for good. It was to depend on the entity. One night, in the fort descended by house, Brindo, terrifying them both. Sarah realized that the very battle would and the price of gift was the constant eyes looking beyond her watchful eyes. So too. Tom and Emma for strange neighbors Blackwood. Every night tonight, they heard ear whisper emanating from his house. One night, they couldn't resist investigating, found him filled with all dares. As they learned that Blackwood was never entity for decades. Now, that entity saw Aiken, and when yet to put an end to malevolent entity's plan. Armed with knowledge for the Blackwood's this helpful pro expert. Before the ritual strategy, as sight, the whispers Blackwood.